Hi, I'm Matt from Tubby Tarot. Welcome back to another 10 Talk Tuesday. Hi, and welcome back. Okay, today I want to talk to you about grounding. What is the difference between grounding and recharging your battery? There is a distinct difference, and a lot of people get these two things wrong. They get them confused and they get them muddled up. Grounding is very, very different to re-energizing and recouping and recharging your battery. Okay, what grounding does is it earths you, it stabilizes you, and it grounds you to reality and to this plane of existence, this earthly plane, okay? What recharging your battery does is it recharges your battery. It gives you more energy. It helps you do better readings because you're more energized. You've got all the stuff, the energy, okay? That is what energizing yourself is all about. What grounding is something completely different. When you ground yourself, you attach yourself to something, okay? Grounding is, always remember, grounding is attachment. It is rooting, okay? It is stability and solidity. So, Matthew, what on earth are you talking about? Well, I'll tell you what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the fact that unless you ground yourself, you're going to have a major problem doing any kind of divinatory work because you will not have that tether to reality. When you don't ground yourself, it's very, very easy to float away, mentally to float away, spiritually to float away. And this is particularly important when you are doing any kind of divination work, especially when it comes to reading tarot cards and oracle cards. Because of the interpretive nature of those readings, of that genre of divination, it is very easy for us as readers to become untethered and to kind of float away and become more and more esoteric and unintelligible to the client in our readings, because we are generally empathic, generally more in tune with our spiritual self and more in tune with the energies around us. So it's very easy for us to kind of go where the client cannot follow us in a reading. And I know for a fact that many of you have experienced this, if not all of you have experienced this, where you get so wrapped up in what you are seeing and what you are interpreting and what is happening that you tend to go off. Not so much go off at a tangent, but go off into a realm of explanation and interpretation that the client simply cannot follow you, all right? You see, any esoteric work is spiritual. There is a spiritual element to it. There is an energy element to it. Even tarot cards. I always say tarot is, and I've said this time and time again, tarot is 99% psychology. But there is that 1% that is something we can't quite put our finger on. There is that 1% that is esoteric, that does come from somewhere we cannot explain. Perhaps one day we will explain it. But right now, it's difficult for us or impossible for us to explain that 1%. Okay? And that 1% could be the 1% that drags you out, that pushes you away from the reality of a reading, that untethers you and allows you to just float away as a reader. And that is why grounding is so important. Now, how do you do this? I understand, Matthew, that I have to ground myself. Yes, okay. But how do I ground myself? Do I go outside and stand barefoot in the garden? Yes, that is one way of grounding yourself. But obviously, sometimes it's completely impossible. You live in an apartment, you live in an urban area where there is no grass, there is no land, it's all concrete, whatever. You can't get out, you don't have that luxury. So how do you do this? One of the ways you can do this is just to be calm. Calm yourself. Just before a reading, take 15 minutes, 10 minutes, just to calm yourself. I'm not saying meditate. Meditate's a different thing. What I'm saying here is turn it down a notch. Don't think about the reading coming up. Don't think about the client. If you don't know the client, don't start putting all these ideas in your head and trying to think what the client's going to be like, okay? And then make prejudgments on that. Calm your mind, calm yourself, and understand that no matter what happens in the reading, you are doing this in reality. This is a real space. It's a real area. Yes, you might have a lot of energy going on. You might have called on the spirits, called on the ancestors, asked the angels to help you. But you are still within your space. You are still on earth. You are still here in a room in reality. And by calming yourself, and by understanding that, or let's say by calming yourself, you will understand that and you will accept that a lot better. So that is one of the ways you can ground yourself, is to just calm down. The other way that you can ground yourself is actually have something that is tangible, that you know is there. So sometimes what I would do is I would actually take a large crystal or a little bowl of crystals. I've got my little bowl of amethyst here, okay? This generally works quite well. I find amethyst, because it's one of my birthstones, it tends to ground me quite well. I'm a Pisces, and so I tend to untether very quickly. It's really easy to get me to float off. So this tends to help me. And just have this on your reading table, in your reading space. It is something that you can constantly put it into a place where when you look up, it's there. Look up from the cards, and that will act as a tether. That will act as a visual reminder that this is real. I'm not doing this on another plane. This is reality. I am sitting at my reading desk. I am sitting in my reading space. You can use that. You don't have to use a bowl of stuff. You can use anything. You can use a candle. You could use a small deity if you want to. But any visual stimulant that is going to remind you that, hey, this is real. So calm yourself. Have a visual representation of reality. I find that crystals and stones work because they are Mother Earth. They are very grounded. Those are two ways that you can do this. The other way you can do it is by, and this is very contentious, so please, this is just something that I have found in my practice, using music in the background. Because, and I'm not talking about panpipes and airy-fairy, artsy-fartsy stuff. I'm talking about very low frequency music, just low music. You can have some drum beat in there, have a bit of bass, but play it almost that it's not hearable. It's almost like it's just there. What will happen is your subconscious will pick up on it, and it will keep you grounded. It'll keep you realizing, hey, that's music. It's being played from my CD player. It's being played from wherever. It keeps you grounded. That's why I say with music, always make sure it has a beat in there, but play it very softly, as I say, almost unhearable, okay? And that will also help you stay grounded. So those are three ways you can do this. You can use a visual stimulant, crystal, deity, candle, within sight or whenever you look up from a reading. You can do the music in the background, okay? Soft music, but make sure it's got a bass, a beat to it, okay? Not etheric panpipes and with no beat. You're not trying to lull your client into a state of semi-consciousness, okay? That's going to untether you. And the third thing, and I think this to me is the most important, is before a reading, you need to calm the fuck down, okay? Get rid of all this stuff in your head. Calm down, understand that this is reality. You are a real person. You are doing a real reading for a real person. And calm down, stabilize yourself. Use these tips. Don't use these tips. What do you think? How do you ground yourself? Let me know in the comments below, of course. And hey, you know what? It doesn't matter if you write me a long flippin' opus. I don't mind. I read them all and I comment on everything, even if it's just putting a little heart or giving you a little thumbs up. You know who I am. I'm Matt from Tubby Tarot, and I will see you next Tuesday for more 10 Talk Tuesday. Bye.